So usually I'll do my live videos on a Wednesday across all of my Facebook pages, and then I used to be able to transfer all of those live videos over to YouTube. Now, because of the competition between like social media platforms, a lot of the platforms are not allowing you to transfer information, including videos. So what I've found, unless I can find a way of doing it, is that I cannot no longer transfer my live videos from my Facebook page over to my YouTube channel. And it's good in one way because it's giving me the experience of making my YouTube videos, and especially for my audience, and maybe to make them in a different way. And that's why I'm here doing this live here on YouTube. I don't go live on here much either. So if you're watching this and you happen to see my video in your stream, I don't know what it's called on YouTube. If you happen to be scrolling through YouTube doing a search and I come up, then my name is Marianne Hanson. I'm a counsellor and a coach. This is from my counselling page, Any Journeys Counselling, and I'll also probably be going live on my coaching page. So what I want to talk about today is something that I know has a massive impact on couples, why they access couples therapy, and also on individuals, why they come for counselling to do with relationship stuff. And that is 4 reasons why it can be hard to walk away after infidelity. And the reason I decided to make this video in the first place is because I watch a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I'm always interested in anything to do with couples, whether that's programs, whether it's pieces of news, because obviously it informs my practice, but I have an interest as well. And I was hearing this story on Iyanla, I can't pronounce her name, but anyway, I think it's Iyanla Van Zandt. She did an interview with a couple where the man had cheated 50 times and he'd slept with, I think, over 300 women. And they're a high-profile couple. I can't remember who they are, but the woman was basically saying that she wanted to stay. And it kind of drew me to that conclusion where it's not about judging or being critical, because anyone that wants to work through difficulties in their relationship, including affairs, is admirable, really. But in this case, it was kind of like when I heard the numbers, like over 350 women, and you know, over 50 times. Well, actually, it started off by he didn't admit the number, and then it was Iyanla said to the lady, "How would you feel if he'd cheated on you over 50 times?" And she didn't want to know the number. And one of the reasons I think for some people it's hard to walk away, this is reason number 1, is because their relationship is tied to that person, you know, especially if they're a celebrity or if that person has a lot of status, has financial security, you know, people, it could be sports stars, it could be celebrities. You'll find with like Jay-Z, Beyonce, all these people that have, it's already been publicly out there that they've cheated. So it's not like anything I can get sued for, it's been out there. They still choose to remain with each other. And I think one of the reasons it's harder if you're in the public eye to walk away is because you lose that power couple status. You lose, you know, it will no longer be Jay-Z and Beyonce. It will no longer be, you know, it doesn't mean that that person is less of a person, because they've still built their career and that, but in their mind they see it as being, I want to hold on to this person. So sometimes it can be harder for them to feel like they need to walk away. A second reason is because you can feel like you're so invested in the person that you walking away would be a failure. So you would see it as being a failure on your part. And this happens in a lot of marriages and relationships where people feel that the relationship is over, whether it's through cheating, whether it's through they don't love the person anymore, whether it's through we've just grown apart over the years, but they don't want to walk away because they feel like we've invested for this long. You know, it would be a failure on my part. I don't want another failed relationship, some people will say. So therefore they will just stick in there. So no matter if that person has an affair or whatever they do, this person is committed. And they say, you know, I'm too invested. No matter what happens, we're going to work through it, or we're just going to accept it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I suppose it's looking at your reasons and also whether the other person feels the same way. Because if one person is completely invested and they're saying, you know, no matter what, I'm not leaving you, I'm not giving up on this relationship, but the other person is saying, well, you can do that, but I don't love you anymore and I'm going to carry on cheating you, carry on treating you badly, then it's just not going to work, is it? Because that person's going to know that regardless, you're not going anywhere. So another reason, and it's linked with that second reason, is low self-esteem. So if you don't feel valuable within the relationship, and if you don't feel good about yourself, you will probably have a higher tolerance for bad things in the relationship. And what I mean by that is, if your self-esteem is high, and if you're someone who has quite high, not high standards, but just clear boundaries, clear standards, and you value yourself and you know your worth, then whether it comes to cheating or whether it comes to any types of behaviour, you are not going to tolerate it, because you're going to know that you deserve more. And you're also not going to put that person on such a pedestal where they can do whatever they want, because you feel that no one else will love you like they do, or no one else will compare to them. It's a key thing that people do, where because of the emotional attachment to a person, and we've probably all been there in our lives at some point, the person becomes almost like a godlike person, and you feel that if you leave them, then it's going to be, you're not going to find anyone else like them. You can't do any better. And it's, to me, what I usually say to my clients when they're feeling like that is, so are they saying that their belief is that with millions and millions of other men on the planet, or millions of other women, their true core belief is that they're never going to find someone either equally as good or better than this person? Is that the truth? Because most people haven't travelled around the world and dated millions of people, and it's really, it's not a truth. So what you're trying to do is get at the root of, where does that belief come from? It comes from you not feeling good enough. It comes from you putting this person on this pedestal to that degree, and that's the reason people sometimes won't leave. And that ties in with the last reason, which is emotional attachment, by justifying the poor behaviour, because you don't want to lose the person at any costs. So what it means is you lying to yourself in a certain way, because you know this person has treated you badly. Now, one affair, sometimes people can come to counselling, even 2 affairs, and they can work through things. But if someone is having multiple affairs, like this person I mentioned a moment ago, 50 times with 300 women, and if it's just a form of behaviour, it's just something they do, then you have to make a decision. Are you going to accept that this is a part of this man or this woman? This is what they do. This is their thing. Am I going to just be like another woman who just accepts that they're not going to stop cheating? Because it's about the cheater at that stage when it's multiple affairs. It's not about anything you're doing or about you. So sometimes in those cases it can be a better option to just walk away, but in other cases it can be a decision to go and work through it, to seek help, or to just accept things as they are. I would never advise anyone to do anything that they're not comfortable with, but what I would say is that if you're with someone who cheats multiple times and you are trying to wait for that behaviour to change, then you're putting yourself in a position where it will affect probably your self-esteem, where it will be about you fighting and pulling for this relationship while that person, makes a decision as to when or if they're going to stop. So it's not straight cut, and there's no judgment on anyone who decides to stay in a relationship if there's cheating, or to walk away. But these are just some things to consider. What are the reasons you're staying, and what's the reason you can't walk away? So I hope you found this video useful. I've just kind of summarised it. I went into more detail on my Facebook Live, but you can head on over to their Any Journeys Counselling if you want to see the same video, but probably with more detail. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Okay, bye.